watching the Mystical Green Beanie.
Hey, what's going on, dudes and dudettes? I am the Mystical Green Beanie, and welcome back to another episode of Hitting the Books, the show where I take a comic that I've read this week and I review it. And first things first, I really want to apologize for not posting any actual comic book reviews on this comic book channel in like a while. So recently I got a job and I started classes, and I just haven't had a lot of time to sit down and read anything. So as of right now, I'm getting caught up on a lot of stuff. But all that aside, I really wanted to talk to you guys about the first issue of Unworthy Thor, written by Jason Aaron and drawn by Oliver Coipel. So first off, let's talk about the story, and as far as the comic goes, the story is relatively simple. The comic opens with Thor fighting his way through a bunch of trolls and goblins and aliens to get to the Mjolnir from the Ultimate Universe, because during Secret Wars, it got thrown into space and we never saw it again until now. Then we cut to 3 months prior, where Thor is just hopping around the galaxy and dealing with his depression and the fact that he's unworthy of his hammer, and as a result, his own name. And sometimes to ease the pain, he fights trolls with the help of his pet space goat Nasher. But after getting his ass handed to him in this fight with said trolls, he is approached by this entity who calls himself the Unseen. And the Unseen tells Thor that while he is unworthy of the hammer that his father gave him, there is another hammer in its own old Asgard. But once he gets to old Asgard, he sees that it's in ruins. And then Beta Ray Bill shows up and tells Thor that he knows that he's looking for the Ultimate Universe hammer, but it's been taken. But in the meantime, he offers to give Thor his hammer, and that is where this first issue ends. So that was the story. Now let's talk about the art. So, as I said before, the pencils are done by Oliver Coipel, and they are breathtaking. The pencils really give you a retro vibe, and it reminded me a lot of some late 70s and early 80s comic art with the character designs and the landscapes and all that. It also, for whatever reason, put me in the mind of 2001: A Space Odyssey. I don't know why, but it did. But I really feel the MVP of this comic was Matthew Wilson, who was the colorist. These colors are fantastic. They really make the book pop, and it reminds me a lot of Jack Kirby in some places. There's a lot of vibrant colors being used against dark colored backgrounds, and the color contrast really draws your attention. Now on to some things that stood out to me, whether or not they be good or bad. As always, let's start off with the good. First off, this comic was written by Jason Aaron. And as far as I'm concerned, Jason Aaron is one of the greatest Thor writers of all time, and this inaugural issue really highlights why I think that. He really gets the voice of Odinson, and I feel like he did a fantastic job of writing Thor as he would be in this situation. And as I've already mentioned, the art is stellar. Finally, Beta Ray Bill showed up in the end. Need I say more? As for the bad, look. Original Sin was 2 years ago, and Jason Aaron is still drawing out that mystery of what Nick Fury told Thor on the moon that made him drop his hammer. And that's kind of annoying, and I really want to be done with this plot point soon. But yeah, there you have it. Those are my thoughts on the first issue of The Unworthy Thor. I highly recommend picking this comic up. It was an absolute joy to read. But what about you? Have you read the comic yet? Are you excited that Odinson is back? Are you not? Let me know down below in the comment section. Also, if you like this video, hit the like button, share, support the channel, and if you want to see more content like this, all you have to do is subscribe. I'm the Mystical Green Beanie. Thank you for watching, and as always, until next time, adios nachos.